What's up everybody, and very welcome along to this week's Anfield Agenda One Football News Show. If you don't know how this works, basically we go onto the One Football app, have a look for all the latest Liverpool news stories, pick out a couple that we deem of maximum interest, and we come on here, we have a chat about them. Now, don't forget to download the One Football app, ladies and gentlemen. You can do it completely free from the link in the description. One Football have got you covered for everything around the Euros, everything ahead of a new season. They've got augmented reality, they've got statistics, league tables, fixtures, in-game analysis, everything that you need to get yourself ready for the new season. So please do go and download the all-new, all-great One Football app. Now, the first story that I wanted to have a chat around today is a bit of big news, really, and a name that's been mentioned a lot over the past week or two at Liverpool. Somebody who went out with the Euros recently with France in that shock defeat. I am, of course, talking about Bayern Munich's Kingsley Coman. Now, this article, or this story, really originated when Florian Plettenberg put the story out there that Liverpool had a genuine interest in Kingsley Coman. He went on to say that the interest, mainly has been pushed by his father towards getting him a move to England, and that Bayern Munich would like to keep the player. This particular article in One Football, though, goes a bit of a step further. It speaks about the fact that Bayern Munich will be looking for a hefty 100 million quid for the 25-year-old Frenchman. And look, let's be honest, we both know, I say both, there's probably loads of us, we all know that Liverpool are not going to be paying 100 million quid for anybody, let alone Kingsley Coman. Would I like Kingsley Coman at Liverpool? Well, yeah, he's a fine footballer. He's got that beautiful stop-start pace as well, the ability to lead defenders in his wake, but he also does have a bit of an injury record, and I don't think that the 100 million price tag that Bayern Munich have placed on his head is a realistic one. I think they want to just buy themselves a little bit of time because they want to keep hold of the guy. And look, who can blame them? He's a fine footballer. You could see how he would work in Liverpool's system, but, I'm just trying to be realistic here. As good as he is, as much as we don't like him, if the real price tag is 100 million quid, there's absolutely no way on this planet that Liverpool are going to go out there and shell out 100 million quid, because that's almost Kylian Mbappe money. Do you know what I mean? So, it was a great link. We had a little bit of fun around it for a while, but if, as per this article suggests, 100 million quid is Bayern Munich's asking price for the 25-year-old French international, we can quickly put it in the bin because we know it's not going to happen. Originally we thought it was going to be somewhere around 50 million euro, something like that. Even at that, you're thinking, can our owners, will our owners dig that deep? Because look, they've been a bit tight, let's be honest about it. So it's one that, look, gave us a bit of hope for a while, maybe got us a little bit excited, but it seems like that unless Bayern Munich really drop their asking price, more than half it, I can't see that being of interest to Liverpool. So one that gave us a bit of excitement while it lasted, but it looks like we can put this one in the bin as it stands right now, unless of course something breaks over the coming days. But that is news story number one from the One Football app. The next story that we're going to have a chat around today is that Liverpool have apparently named Xherdan Shaqiri's price tag. So look, it's been no secret to us Liverpool fans that Shaqiri has been open to a move and that Liverpool have been open to selling Shaqiri on. There was links to Fenerbahce going back as far as last year, but it looks like Lazio is the club with the most interest, or the most serious interest, in Shaqiri. He performed very well as part of the Switzerland team that knocked France out. The defending world champions been knocked out by that great Switzerland team who played fantastic in the game, and Shaqiri definitely played a big part in that. And they believe that Liverpool are going to be looking to recoup the 13 million quid that we paid when he had that relegation clause in his Stoke contract. And I think a move to Lazio for Shaqiri would be a very good move for him. I think the hustle and bustle, the pace, the physicality of the Premier League might be a little too much for Shaqiri's body. We often see he picks up a lot of strains and niggly little injuries. And look, on his day, he's a fine footballer. He can make things happen. He's got a wand of a left foot. But it just hasn't ever really taken off from at Liverpool Football Club. And I know that he's got a cult following amongst their fan base. And look, as I said, on his day, fine footballer, but we haven't had the opportunity to see enough of those days, unfortunately. And if we're being realistic, every pound note that we can bring in now will probably help us to add some additions to the team. And while some of you guys really like Shaqiri and some others like myself are on the fence, we do have to say that if we can move Origi on and Shaqiri on, it will maybe help us to beef up the squad so the drop off in our attacking options isn't as bad as it has been in recent years. So if Liverpool get the 12 or 13 million quid from Lazio, a move to Lazio could be a good piece of business for them, for Liverpool, and of course for the player who, we often forget about as fans what's of interest to the player. But, Shaqiri will want to finish his career strongly. He's had some good clubs during his career. He's been at Liverpool, of course, been at Bayern Munich. He was in Italy for a time as well. So maybe a move back over there to Italy with Lazio will be perfect for him. So I think he will leave this summer, and I think the price point mentioned around 12, 13 million quid is probably about right. He's got 2 years remaining on his Liverpool contract, and this is one that I see having some legs to it. So whether it's Lazio or not, definitely keep an eye on the situation. Lazio seem to be of the most strong interest at this moment in time. So yeah, that's one that I think we can put in the high probability pile. So these piles are adding up, by the way, aren't they? We do have quite a few piles these days, but no, don't mention having quite a few piles, Craig, because that's not a good look. But there you go. Anyway, we move on to the next news story of the day. The third story of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is one that's really come to fruition over the past 48 hours or so, and that is Liverpool's apparent interest in Otavio from Porto. Now, this article from Tribal Football suggests that not only are Liverpool interested in signing the Brazilian from Porto, they have in fact tabled a bid, and the bid is 26 million plus Marco Grujic. Now, we've long known that Porto want to sign Marco Grujic. He was on loan there, he did very well with them, and we thought that they were going to move on Oliveira in order to fund the deal for Marco Grujic. But if Liverpool do like Otavio, and it does say in the article that Jurgen Klopp has signalled him out as somebody he wants to bring in, then there's absolutely a chance for a deal to be done. A couple of important things here. What we do know is he's got a 40 million euro release clause, but that release clause increases from the 1st of July up to, and I think my memory's right in this, about £53 million. So do I think there's some truth in it? I honestly don't know, but you can easily join the dots here. They want one of our players, we want one of their players. Maybe some business can be done. He is a Brazilian national, is playing for Porto. He kind of plays an attacking midfielder, creative midfielder, which is the position I would like to see Liverpool strengthen. But I won't lie to you, good people. I know he's got something like 5 goals and 12 assists or something like that in the last season. Something in and around those numbers. But I don't know too much about the guy. But if he is who Jurgen Klopp wants, then, who am I to second guess Kloppo? And if 26 million of Marco Grujic is the number, then again, it's a fairly realistic signing for the club, and somebody who will hopefully come in and give us a little spark moving forward, maybe be able to play in the hole behind the front three. And again, it would move another player off our books of Marco Grujic, a player who, if I'm being honest with you, I don't really think has been given a fair chance at Liverpool over the years. I think if he had spent a year or two working with Fabinho, it might have improved them. But Porto believe that they have a player on their hands there with Marco Grujic, and let's wait and see if Liverpool follow up their interest, or as this article suggests, that we have made a bid. Now, I've not seen anybody else say that the bid has been made. Maybe they're a little bit ahead of the rest of us, or maybe they're going a little bit too early. But it's definitely one to keep an eye on, and certainly the right profile of player, the right front-footed, attacking-minded player that I'd like to see us bring in, because we don't really use a number 10 too often in Klopp's system. We've seen at times before, sometimes Bobby will drop into the hole and play behind, but since Coutinho left, we haven't really had that attacking creative midfielder. Keep an eye on the Otavio situation, but it will be interesting to see if anything happens before that release clause of his kicks up on July the 1st, where it will increase from 40 million euro up to I think about 53 million pound or something like that. So an interesting one, and certainly one that came out of the blue over the last week or so, but another one to keep an eye on. And I think the probability factor on this one, I'd say there's a decent chance. I put this in the 50-50 pile perhaps. I mean, there's another pile for you to talk about. I should probably rename these piles and limit them, but yeah, I think there's a realistic chance of this one, so keep an eye on it. The final news story of this week's Anfield Agenda 1 Football News show is around Daniel Malen of PSV Eindhoven, and it looks like this guy will move this summer. They were speaking about PSV Eindhoven, they were speaking with the coach, and they were talking about the interest in the player. Obviously the Netherlands have been knocked out of the Euros, and Daniel Malen is somebody not just that Liverpool are looking at, but Borussia Dortmund are also looking at. So this is a player who I can see fitting in a Klopp system. As soon as I was informed about Daniel Malen by you guys, who, facts in case you didn't know, used to actually play at underage level for Arsenal. I think it was 2015 to 2017. And now, of course, at PSV Eindhoven has had a cracking season with them. And somebody who, if rumours are to be believed, or if, you know, some journalists are to be believed, Jurgen Klopp looks at as a potential long-term replacement to Roberto Firmino. I think this would be a far more realistic signing than some of the others that we've seen linked in the attacking positions. Obviously, Isaac from Real Sociedad in Sweden has been linked, but we know he has a €70 million release clause. Daniel Malen is somebody who we could probably get for about 25-30 million quid. And again, right type of profile player for me. You know, he's got pace, he's got guile, knows where the goal is. Did miss a really good opportunity for the Netherlands the other day, but we won't mention that. And I can see why people are saying that he could be a long-term Roberto Firmino replacement, because there is an awful look at Roberto Firmino about the way that he plays. I think he will buy into the pressing system that Klopp like to play. We know Klopp likes our team to defend from the front as well. And look, if he does come in, works with Bobby for a year or two, I think, yes, this is the right calibre of signing, the right price point, the right age bracket. So all signs on this one point to it being far more likely than some of the others. So I would put this in the pile of very, very good chance. I think there's a good chance that Liverpool's interest in Malen is real, and that we may well perhaps go as far as putting a bid in. But as I said, do keep an eye on the Dortmund situation as well. They're going to be losing Jadon Sancho. They look at this guy as a potential replacement for Erling Haaland as well. And Julian Brandt is another player who Dortmund could be losing this summer. So Daniel Malen, you know, we thought it may have been Patson Daka. He's gone to Leicester City. So Malen seems to be the most likely attacking option. And do you know what? I wouldn't mind him at all. I really wouldn't mind him at all at Liverpool. So keep an eye on this one, ladies and gentlemen, because there could be some legs to it. And also keep an eye from the Dortmund side as well, because, you know, they have a good eye for talent. That brings to an end this week's Anfield Agenda One Football News Show. Don't forget to please do use the link in the description to download the fantastic, completely free One Football app. We're going to be working with the guys at One Football right throughout the new season as well. They're going to be sponsoring some of our watch-alongs here on the channel. It has been a pleasure to catch up with you guys again. Thank you so much for watching the video. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like on it, and let me know your thoughts about any of the players that we mentioned. And I'll chat to you guys next week for the next Anfield Agenda One Football News crossover. Take care, and up the Reds.